So whitetail season is coming. And so instead of waiting until whitetail season gets here, we thought we should cover this right now. We thought we should talk about what are 5 things that you might need to consider before you go set up a ground blind, especially if you're thinking of hunting during the rut. Most of us are. Number 1, location. Where am I gonna put this ground blind? Where do I wanna have it so that it's gonna be the most effective? One place that I do a lot of ground blind hunting at is off of my food plots or off of agriculture land. And in those situations, I will take my blind there and set it up and leave it there. I'll set it up a week or 2, 10 days, something like that, let the deer get used to it. But I'm not brushing it in at this point. I'm just putting it out there. It becomes basically like a hay bale in the field. What about those locations or those situations where you can't put it out in the field? You don't want to put it out in the field. Wind says you got to be in a certain place. You want to be able to brush your blind in. If you're going to brush a ground blind in, you want to brush it in so well that you could climb in that ground blind right then. Little tip I'll add to that. If you got multiple locations, but you only have 1 or 2 blinds, stick pallets. I drive T-posts in the ground, I stick a pallet on there, stood up, I'll put 3 of them so that they make kind of a C shape. And then what I can do is come and drop a ground blind in there. Deer don't pay any attention. Those pallets have been there the whole year for that matter. And now you drop a ground blind in there and they don't pay any attention to it. Tip number 2, you have to pay attention to the sun. And what I mean is when you set up your tree stands, typically we don't do that. We look at which direction the trail that they're coming by or the way they're entering the food plot. In a ground blind, you definitely want to look at which way the sun is going to be affecting you. You do not want the sun to come down pointed right at you. You don't want to be facing straight west when you set your ground blind up. It's okay to face west if you're slightly elevated uphill or downhill so the sun is not pointed right at you. Number 3, as much as you need to pay attention when you set a tree stand, you're gonna pay even more attention to wind direction when you're in a ground blind. 2 reasons. 1, you're on the ground with them, so your scent is going to be there. When you get elevated in a tree stand, sometimes that can help get you up above the thermals and get your wind out of there. You don't get that luxury out of the ground blind. And if you're setting it to leave it, make sure you're thinking of what the wind's gonna be doing on a nasty windy day or a rainy day, because it's gonna change, and make sure you're only hunting it when the wind is right. Tip number 4, because it matters and it changes when you come from a tree stand to climbing a ground blind. I know you got a favorite camo. You need to ditch that favorite camo, or you can wear it, but you're gonna cover it up with something that's solid black. And when I say that, I mean a black hat, black face mask. I even wear black gloves. Yes, you can get away with your bottom, doesn't matter. But if you'll have black from the waist up, you will disappear in that blind. It's a huge element that a lot of hunters overlook. They just think they're going hunting today and they end up going and jumping in a ground blind and they're wearing their favorite camo and the white outlines of it and everything stand out, and then they get caught drawing or something like that. Don't let that happen to you. And tip number 5, and this one is just kind of a sneaky one that I've been doing for years. When you do it long enough, you'll find out why. Throw a blanket in the bottom of your blind. It's so that when you put your chair on it, when you lay your stuff out on the ground, it's not on leaves, it's not on dirt. You can see all of your equipment much, much easier. But the most important thing is it quiets it down. It's super quiet. I've laid a blanket directly over the snow or directly over tall grass, and it gets rid of the crunching sound. And it makes it where if you want to shoot off your knees or if you're gonna swivel around in a chair, you don't accidentally step on a limb or on leaves and make noise. There's 5 elements that's gonna change the way that you hunt out of a ground blind. If you don't have a ground blind, I'm going to tell you today, you need to have one before we get to the rut. It's gonna add to the way you hunt, because it's gonna allow you to hunt places you never dreamed of.